Hey everybody, Star 6 Wars. Fuck.
You keep going, man. It's okay. You can start over again.
All
right.
Just start over. It's fine. We're still recording.
All right. Hey everybody, it's OtaKrew. Fuck. I'm never good with intros and changing them. Okay, trying one last time.
Go for it.
Hey guys, OtaKrew. Fucking hell!
Damn it, Corey.
Fucking hell!
Hey, that was Dustin. Don't blame
That was
Mike, all
Dustin
right?
laughing, not me.
日曜なんて大嫌いです。さてと。
No, we're fine.
Yes.
Don't worry. Just keep recording.
Recording.
We're fine.
Okay, we're gonna keep recording. We're gonna keep this.
All good. Keep going.
This will be bloopers.
Yes.
This will be great.
Yeah, this will be great.
Hey everybody of the internet, it is OtaKrew doing another Anime Royale. For this one, I will be judge, and I am Star 6 Wars 1. Join me today is Joining me today is Hyrule,
What's up, everybody?
Gabe,
I'm ready.
I'm going to destroy you all.
JcGreen,
Kill you, Gabe. I swear I will.
and Mr. Reckless Penguin.
All the older people in this chat will perish.
You are black.
Oh my! Oh, well, I do not condone any of these comments.
Oh my
I don't
God.
condone anything. I swear. Oh my God.
All right. Does everyone know? I believe knows the rules of OtaKrew. For this one, however, we are going to be doing a tag team.
Tag
It will
Team
be
Royale.
Royale and Gabe versus JC and Corey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna destroy you.
Yeah. Go back to your little rocking chair.
Besides that, the rules are the same.
Back to your cotton picking. Oh
my God.
Dude, what the hell is
Fuck.
Can I have a different teammate?
Sorry.
No, this is already set. We've already started. Connor just explained the rules. We're
Sorry.
started. Oh my God.
Oh my lord!
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry.
Tennessee.
Love,
is all
love,
over.
dude.
God damn. Dude.
Love you, Corey.
Damn.
Love you, Corey.
I don't even know how to come back from that.
Just keep on going.
Okay, let's yeah. All right, rules are 5 questions, 1 point per team, and whoever wins it all. And if it is a tie, we go into lightning round. Sounds good?
Yeah.
That's great.
All right.
All right, then let's begin with the first question. It will be, what is the best Gainax anime? Gabe and Hyrule?
All right, Dustin, you want to take the floor on this one?
Alright, okay. There's no doubt in my mind it's Evangelion. Neon Genesis. Why? Because, well, Ava is what set the bar for Gainax. And, I don't really see any other, anime that can top Ava, because Ava is one of the most influential anime series of all time. Not only that, it is influential in the mecha genre, because it is a deconstruction of mecha, and it pretty much takes apart all the aspects of mecha and just puts it all back together in a nice little bow, and it's one of those series that I really love going back and watching, and it is one hell of a good series, and I think it's one of Gainax's best.
Okay. An excellent start. All right, Corey and JC, what do you guys have?
You want me to go first, Score, or you want to go first?
Oh yeah, you go ahead.
All right. Basically, what we did was we picked Panty and Stocking. The reason why we picked this is because, in a sense, this is one of Gainax's kind of really underlined work that really no one really expected to really blow out. I mean, even in Japan, on how it was set the bar, it wasn't really that mainstream until it got to America, which really, I would say, introduced a lot more to the media of anime in America that I think really set the bar. I mean, as far as Evangelion on its fan base, I think ours really do set the bar for that aspect on bringing American audience to Panty and Stocking. I think that's definitely something worth taking consideration for Gainax's best anime.
Okay. We have two interesting choices. All right, time to rebuttal.
All right.
First up, let's go with Jace for Gabe and Hyrule.
All right.
Any?
I got it. All right. Panty and Stocking. It's good. It's fun. It's funny. Yeah. It has a lot of nice color and a nice thing, and it does that thing that Gainax started doing later on. But Evangelion was a flagship for Gainax. It's the reason Gainax became anything. And not only that, it brought mecha into like the world. Yeah, we had Gundam and things like that, but we never had anything like Evangelion before. It blew people's minds, and it's the reason that things like tsunderes and that kind of female lead exists. That's the reason everybody's been biting off that. People have been copying Rei. People have been copying Asuka, and they haven't even been doing it right. They've been screwing it up because nobody's done it as well as Evangelion. Those were three-dimensional characters with real character flaws that were amazing, and ever since then, people have been trying to recreate that magic with their female characters, but nobody's been able to because it was so stunning, because it was so revolutionary, because it was so new, and it was the first deconstruction like that I've ever seen, and I think most people have ever seen. It was huge, and just the mental fractured state of Shinji's mind throughout the entire thing in and of itself could be seen as a deconstruction of the male protagonist in anime, because there were always these like run-of-the-mill male protagonists before Evangelion, since Evangelion, that nobody understood. Why is this character so special? Why do girls like him? With Shinji, it made sense because of how mentally fractured he was, because of who his father was. It brought him into the fold, and it created basically a whole new character that since then everybody's been stepping on. With Shinji, with Rei, with Asuna, with mechs, everybody's been stepping on Evangelion because it was so good, but nobody's ever going to recreate that magic. It is a classic. Penny and Stocking is not a classic in everybody's mind. When you think top 10 anime, when you think just masterpieces, you think Evangelion, and the best thing is how open to interpretation it is, and how open it is, and how it opens up people's minds. People thought differently of anime after Evangelion. It changed the entire geographic formation of anime. It laid a foundation that almost every anime since has been built on, whether it be mecha, whether it have a tsundere, whether it have a Rei type character, whether it have a Shinji type lead protagonist. Almost every anime since Evangelion has in some way stepped on Evangelion, and the way it used religious tones, and its fight scenes were amazing. And later on the budget dipped down, but that didn't even hurt it because the storyline took its place. You couldn't show the fights as much anymore. Okay, so they went into Shinji's mind. It was genius what they did. They didn't have budget, so they went into Shinji's mind, and they made him even more of a character and even more fleshed out. Every turn they made the right decision. Every turn they did the right thing. Every turn they created a new landscape for anime, and that is why it is so beloved. Nothing Gainax has done, nothing any studio has done since then has come close. It is one of the biggest masterpieces in anime. It is a classic. It is their best work, period.
Very good. Any rebuttals,
No,
JC?
No. Well, I just think since Gabe went, then it should be Corey, then it should be Dustin, then it should be me. It would just make sense because it's in order.
All right.
I thought it was kind of a free
Corey?
for all.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
I didn't. We didn't explain the rules for this.
Free for all. It is a free for all.
No, yeah, it's a free for all. We did explain,
Oh,
but
oh.
it's okay.
Yeah, it's free for
Oh,
all.
well, now we know.
Oh, holy shit.
You know, to be fair and honest, we wanted to be different. We had a feeling maybe Evangelion would be too, common tier. We had to mix it up a little bit. I mean, I still want to stand forth with honestly Pan and Stocking. Yes, Gainax definitely introduced new elements. For one thing, I think for Evangelion, just for Gainax alone, it may have set the bar for them, but I think it's still a confusing anime that can give her difference. It can still be a confusing anime that, I mean, even people have not really fully established, and honestly, some people don't like it for many reasons, particularly with its confusing endings that it kind of had to rebuild itself with the rebuild of Evangelion. It had to use other elements to help establish it even further, because some people really were getting really confused with the overall series as a whole. That's my issue with it. As far as what I can remember, I feel like it's more or less to establish Gainax as itself. I think I think even ours even holds that bar as well. But I feel like yours, in particular with Evangelion, feels like it needs other elements like the rebuilds and the movies to help build it off. I think that's what it's toward my sound that. I want to say with Pan stocking, I think it's something that Gainax has brought out to Japan that did its job, and when coming to America, I think it really exploded upon even further, and I think it helped explore upon Gainax as a company for even American audience to enjoy, honestly.
And here's the thing, though. You said right off the bat that, like, the reason we didn't go with Evangelion is because it would have been, I guess, too cliche or too common. The reason for that is because it is the best. You wanted to choose it because it was the best, but it was too common, or it was too cliche, or it was the obvious answer. There's a reason it's the obvious answer. It's the best. It might be confusing. It might have needed a movie. It didn't need both movies because Death and Rebirth was just a recap to catch you up to End of Evangelion. So really it only needed one movie. But even though it only needed one movie, even though it needed a movie as a whole, just because it's confusing doesn't make it bad. Just because you don't initially understand it doesn't make it bad. That makes it good. People didn't initially understand Inception, but people love it. Some people might not like Evangelion, but the vast majority do. And even if you don't like it, you know what it is. No matter who you are, if you know about anime, you know what Evangelion is. Not everybody knows about panty and stalking. Evangelion might be confusing, but that is such a good thing because it is studied in some colleges. That's how good it is. That's how many different things go into the making of this. That's how many different subplots and subtexts and things about the characters and mental fractures and so many things. It is so multifaceted that it needs to be taken apart. It needs to be parsed for its information inside. It is so very multifaceted that people literally study it. Not everybody still understands what exactly happened, and that's a good thing because it keeps you thinking, because it keeps it in your mind. At the end of Inception, did the top stop spinning? Did it not stop spinning? Is he still in the dream? Who knows? We're still asking that. Well, up until the production team basically came out and told you, we were still asking that because it was such a huge pivotal thing, because it mattered so much, because people were so confused and didn't know what was going on, because it was good. It was a little bit of a cop-out in Inception, but it wasn't in Evangelion because it was structured properly, because they didn't need a cop-out ending, because the entire series was that way. They didn't just look at, like, is the top spinning? They looked at every single aspect. Why is Shinji running away? Why is he thinking this? Why did that guy's head get snapped off? What is going on here? Why does Asuka act the way she acts? What's going on with Rei? Like, is she a clone? Is she his mom? What's going on? People didn't understand, and they had to rewatch it and watch it over again, and that, to me, is the mark of a great anime, is an anime that you want to watch again, either because you don't understand it or because you enjoy it. And personally, I watched it over and over and over for both reasons. It didn't have to be one or the other. It was amazing on every watch through, and in every watch through, I got something new out of it. I learned a little bit more. My thought process changed. It changed who some people are and how some people think. Can you say that about Penny and Stalking? No. Can you say that about Gurren Lagann or anything else they've done? No, you cannot. You just cannot say that about anything they've done in damn near any anime since it. It was the first, it was the originator, and it was the best.
All I'm gonna say is this: overkill much? Overkill? I feel like I just got my heart ripped open.
Not only that, the reboot movies. They only serve purpose is that way that people that enjoyed Evangelion can have more Evangelion. It has nothing to do with the original series and what it stands for even now.
Trust me, Dustin. Trust me. Corey, you can say whatever you want, but I already know what you're going to say. We've already agreed on the same thing and what we just
said. Three words. Let me just say, I haven't said anything.
Also,
but here'd be the thing I say.
Hey, Corey's been saying that's
one
true.
thing to say.
Yeah.
All right, Corey, go ahead. Say what you need to.
Some kingdoms fall. JC and I fell.
God. God.
Yeah, here's.
I keep it as is. Overkill much. God damn.
We gave it.
Okay.
We're giving it to you
JC,
guys.
I've come to a decision.
I already know you did come to a decision. It's okay. Say it now.
Yeah, no. Gabe destroyed you. That is simple as that.
No, he destroyed us.
That argument was holy
Stop
shit.
throwing all the pressure on me, people. Come on. not fair.
This next one though.
All right,
is gonna be,
Gabe and Hyrule have the point.
listen, I just want to point.
Like, holy
I just
crap!
want to point out something. I could not
Can we
argue
have like a
against you.
time limit measure here? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Son of a
again,
bitch.
I just could not argue against you because you were absolutely right. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you.
Or we should just stick with Evangelion. We could have like switched them up. Then we could have definitely threw
Shut up.
Penny and Stocking afterwards. Could have done it. Could have done it.
Yes. Even without Gabe's explanation, one thing that kind of bothered me when it came to your answer with Pan stalking and one of your rebuttals against it being confusing, not every anime fan likes American animation. I can name a good number of people that don't. So
It
it
wasn't
made that argument a little invalid.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily that I was using it that, it's American. I never even mentioned once that it's like American style. I didn't even get to that part.
Well-
Never even got to. I was mentioning that it got to an American audience and it grew to a popularity to it succeed itself in America than in Japan. That's what I
Well,
was
Panty and Stocking,
That's all I'm gonna say.
it's
That's all I'm
not a
gonna say.
bad series. It
All I'm
really
gonna say.
isn't. It's just there's a lot of things that don't make it as much as a classic as you would want it to.
Oh, it's not bad at
And
No, it's not.
and no,
Yeah,
it's
it's not
not.
bad at
It's
all.
like South Park, pretty much. That's
that's
how I
good,
see
but-
it. The Japanese
Yeah, it all
version
comes
of
down to
South
taste.
Park.
All right. So we're at like 15 minutes here. Connor, you want to?
All right, let's go. Question 2. What is the best dub and why? JC and Corey.
All right,
Corey,
well,
take it away.
Well, see, I want to answer this question. The best dub in anime has to be the Ghost Stories dub. I know we mentioned it before, but don't worry, we're mentioning it again. The Ghost Stories dub is by far one of the best dubs I've ever seen because it not only made a bad show better, it just completely changed the whole entire show just for the better of the show. Because I had never seen a dub ever created that made a bad show into an actual good show. And this is why Ghost Stories is the best dub in my opinion. I can rebuttal later, but in my opinion, it's best.
Good answer, Corey.
Okay.
Good answer. Good answer.
Gabe and Hyrule.
Go ahead, Dustin.
Okay, we picked Cowboy Bebop, and here's the reason why. Cowboy Bebop is one of the best anime series of all time, in my opinion. And it has one of the most recognized dub cast ever. You have Steve Bloom doing the voice of Spike. You have Jet, and, all those voice actors played their parts perfectly, I think. And, it's what set the bar to dubs. It makes dub haters say, if there's one anime that I'm going to watch dubbed, it'll be Bebop. And it's true. It is a phenomenal dub, and I think it's one of the best.
Okay, let's start with rebuttals.
Free for all time.
The thing
Yes.
is, the dub for Cowboy Bebop may be good, but you can still also watch the sub of Cowboy Bebop and still have the same exact experience. With our dub enhances the show. You do not need to watch the sub because the sub is terrible, but the dub enhances the show. You already got a good sub, and you got a good dub. But ours just completely just obliterates the sub, and ours just exceeds everything. And I think for our dubbing, that is something extraordinary. JC, you want to add on?
No, I was gonna say it's about the same thing. When a dub can actually explore upon its show itself and change the basis of what the whole show is about, it still keeps the same somewhat base of the skeleton of the story, but it changes it in dynamically in a way that brings in pulp culture, different jokes, even sexist to racist to even kind of a feminist kind of ways. There's many different things that bring in humor that really make this show that was terrible in Japan to absolutely adored into the American audience. And not just America, but just the dub work itself has quality to itself to really uphold itself. It may not be in the quality level, if you could say, for Cowboy Bebop, because I don't know if I could argue against it. It's been a while since I've seen Cowboy Bebop, but all I'm going to say is when a dub can really change the dynamic of a show, that's something to strongly take in consideration. You can watch the sub for Cowboy Bebop, but for the dub, you can do the exact same thing.
can I just-
Ours, if you watch the dub, you really do
Can I
experience
just
something
slam
new.
dunk this real quick? All right, so
All right,
dubbing
slam.
is not all about the voice acting. It's also about the scripting too. And they revamped this whole entire script for this whole entire anime, and that takes a ton of work just to revamp a whole entire script for an anime, rather than just voicing over the characters and just for what they're saying. They just redid the whole entire script. And I think that's an also important aspect of a dub other than voice acting. The voice acting is actually well done in Ghost Stories. Sure, it might sound cheesy, but it fits the characters. Like, it just fits everything that the show is trying to be.
Any rebuttal against that?
Dustin, go ahead and start us off.
Okay. All right. You're right, Corey. Ghost Stories did make a lot of changes to the original series. I mean, yeah, it's shit if you watch it in subbed. But Cowboy Bebop, what makes it so good when it comes to its dub is how the voice actors are able to carry themselves. And that's what sets it apart from the subs. I mean, yeah, you could go and watch Cowboy Bebop subbed, but if you watch it dubbed, it's a different aspect to look at. I mean, a lot of people that watch dubs, that's what they come for, like a different experience every time they watch something. Well, with Ghost Stories, yeah, you're getting a different, it's pretty much a comedy now. I mean, but with Cowboy Bebop, it's... Gabe, go ahead.
All right. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's how this works. With dub, the primary thing focused on with dub is the voice acting and the anime and the audio studio. The problem is with Ghost Stories, yes, it had a better dub than it had a sub. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a good dub, but it had a better dub than it had a sub. The voice acting is honestly atrocious, and it might fit the writing, but that's the thing. They had to rework the writing to make the show even watchable, and then had to use the voices to fit the writing, which they probably didn't really do. Let's be honest, it's probably just really bad dubbing that happens to work with decent, funny writing. The thing is, this isn't a good dub. This is a good rewritten show. That, if anything, this is more of a remake than it is a dub. This is basically a remake from the Japanese because it almost has no similarities to the Japanese. Whereas with Cowboy Bebop, you could watch the sub and you could watch the dub, but in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions, the dub is actually better than the sub. Cowboy Bebop wasn't even that popular in Japan till it came here, and then we brought it back over there essentially, and it got popular, and the reason for that is Steve Bloom. He is a throat god. He played Spike Spiegel, and he's the only person who can play Spike Spiegel. He completely destroyed the role, completely fucked up the subbing. He just absolutely abolished any preconceived notions of who Spike was and redefined him as his own character. And then he went on to before that, he already had a pretty good career with Wolverine, but since then, he's done such amazing things. This was the start of a new generation of dubbing. You have Wendy Lee on Faye Valentine, and she did phenomenal. You have Bo Billingstone on Jet. He did phenomenal. There is not one bad voice actor in this entire thing. Even the lower cast members are great. None of it takes you out of the situation. None of it takes you out of the story. It's better than the sub. It basically made a show that wasn't very good or very popular in its original home popular in a different country, and then popular in its own home, because it was that good, because these actors were so amazing, and it didn't have to change the script to do it or rewrite it or make it into a different show. It was the same show, just with different voice actors, with a different audio studio, and it worked. It worked so very well. It is renowned as one of the best dubs. People listen to it that don't listen to dubs. That is amazing. That is groundbreaking. It's one of the reasons that anime got brought to America. It's one of the reasons that anime did well in America, because the dubbing was so good. It accentuated the storyline so perfectly and made it so beautiful and phenomenal. That's what it did. It basically helped anime come to America, and it helped a show that wasn't very popular gain popularity, and it helped voice actors who needed the work and deserved the work get the work. It is phenomenal, and nobody thinks of Spike Spiegel without thinking of Steve Bloom's voice. And there's only one word I have to say that is going to tie it all up and put the nail in the coffin on this one. It's the same thing Spike Spiegel said at the end. Bang.
All right.
I have come to a decision.
Really? We can't. All right. You don't want. I can't. You don't want us to jump in to battle it back on, or you really call a decision right here?
If you guys can think you can,
well,
go right ahead.
I'm gonna spit a few things, and Corey's gonna spit his last few things, and we can call from there. I mean, honestly, you're basically Gabe. When you mention about that, it's a remake. It's a remake. It's still the official dub, regardless. It's the official dub. I think that's something to take into consideration. What exactly what Corey said? When a company brings out, like Funimation brings a certain sub or an anime to America, and they want to redub it, and they have to rewrite it, that still can take into consideration for being a strong dub. That takes into consideration for it helping it as its own. And you mentioned that it helped all these amazing voice actors, which I will not say that they're not bad at all. But honestly, all these people have done other works, and you could say this for a big collection of other animes that have these same exact voice actors, or a select few of them that did really phenomenal. But with ours, there's many different factors that help it. It changed the whole storyline that helped advance it to be even better than it even was. That takes a lot of consideration. You, on the other hand, kind of keep mentioning back and forth that these voice actors helped get them this, they got them that. It's almost like you're kind of defending the voice actors and saying like these guys are the best. But when we're talking about the dub here, when you gotta listen about the dub, yes, there is a quality that you have to take into consideration, but there's also the writing and how it can form a shitty show into a show that, oh my god, everyone can remember on a comedy aspect of how great it is as a comedy for a dub. That's all I have to say, man. It's something that you gotta take into consideration besides just the quality work of voice actors and actresses that got the opportunity. But these ones, it's writing and the people who did it definitely changed the whole course of the entire show. Anything else you want to add, Corey?
Just a quote from Ghost Stories. I hear the sound of you shutting the fuck up.
All right, let's do this.
Oh shit,
All
we're
right.
gonna keep going?
One more round.
Well, no.
Let's
I
see.
mean, because you guys got to do a rebuttal on me. I'm doing
yeah,
a rebuttal on you.
One more rebuttal. I'll allow this.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that because it was rewritten, it was better, but writing and dub are not equivalent. Writing is a different phase of creating something. Writing is prior to dubbing. Literally, dubbing is about the voices. That's what it's about. And okay, so they rewrote it and it made it better. Let's even give you that. Let's say, you know what? Writing's a part of dubbing. Okay. They had to rewrite it to make it better. So that means that the dub and sub aren't equivalent because the dub's clearly going to be better because it was rewritten. That has no bearing on the work itself, okay? The dub is clearly going to be better than the sub, but that doesn't mean anything because the sub was originally a piece of shit. So it made it better. That doesn't mean it's good. Who the hell has Ghost Stories on the top 10 of anything on their list? They don't have the dub on the top 10. They don't have anything on the top 10 because it's not that good. It's better than the original, granted, because of the writing, not the dub, which you've already said, but again, we're just assuming that writing and dub are equivalent somehow, and because of that, it made it watchable in America. It made it sort of a cult thing that some people know about, but not everybody. Everybody knows about Cowboy Bebop. Yes, these voice actors like Steve Blum, Wendy Lee, they had jobs beforehand, they had jobs afterhand, but people didn't know Steve Blue's name until they found out about Spike Spiegel and Tom from Toonami, which again is basically the flagship that started anime in America and helped with Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop's how he got Toonami. Anyways, Steve Blum happened because of Cowboy Bebop. People know his name because of Cowboy Bebop. He fought to get Toonami back on the air, and that would not have happened without the help of Steve Blum, who came from Cowboy Bebop, which is where he got his fame. Anime is having a resurgence because of Cowboy Bebop, because of the dub acting in Cowboy Bebop. You can't say that about Ghost Stories. Who the hell knows about Ghost Stories besides hardcore anime fans? And who, even in hardcore anime fans, really loves Ghost Stories for the dubbing? They might like it for the writing, but they don't necessarily like it for the voice acting itself or for the quality of the audio. Those are two different things. Yes, it might have writing in terms of having a better dub than a sub. It has writing over Cowboy Bebop. Okay, sure, because the writing in the dub is better than the writing in the sub for Ghost Stories, which might not be true for Cowboy Bebop, but Cowboy Bebop has better audio overall, as in better audio work, and it has better voice acting, and it has consistently better voice acting that not only launched many careers, but launched an entire genre. It launched anime. It helped create Firefly, which is like one of the best freaking shows on TV. People are still clamoring to bring it back. All of these things came from Cowboy Bebop, and it would not have happened without the dubbing. Ghost Stories, sure, fine. It has better writing compared to the sub, but it doesn't have better writing overall. You have to take that into account. If I'm taking the writing based on voice acting based on the sub into account, then you, I guess, have to take writing overall into account, and the emotion behind that writing and the emotion behind that writing doesn't compare. There is no emotion in Ghost Stories. There is no emotion in their dub. There's emotion in Spike Spiegel. There's emotion when he does anything at all. There's emotion in Ed. There's emotion in Faye. There's emotion in Jet. There's emotion in the guy who had to get surgery because of Faye, who's like a minor character. There's emotion in every single aspect of it, and it's all real, and it all hits you, and it all hits home. Ghost Stories might be funny, sure, but it's not good work. It really isn't. The writing is good work. I'll give you that, but that's still one of 3 points that it has slightly over Cowboy Bebop, slightly, and I'm only going to give it that because I'm basically giving you the fact that writing has something to do with dub work just for the sake of argument. So basically, Cowboy Bebop beats it at minimum 2 out of 3 things.
All I'm gonna say for you,
Mathematically, it's just better. I mean, critically, it's better. Every single aspect of it is better. There is no comparison.
Connor, you can end this right here. I'm gonna say one little line. All I'm gonna say is I felt like half the arguments that Gabe was mentioning is like how popularity has helped it succeed. Popularity a little bit different than the best. If we're talking about specifically toward its dub, you mentioned a lot about how it's popular. That's what you mentioned before. I feel like that shouldn't be taken accountable. That may be a factor, but I feel like you're kind of evolving into a whole new question. That's all I'm gonna say at that. Connor,
Actually, let me correct you. I'm not talking about how popularity made it mean something. It made popularity mean something. It's the polar opposite. It made anime popular. It made Steve Blum popular. Steve Blum made it popular. Popularity didn't make it. It made popularity. It did the work to do that. It did the work to make anime happen in America, to make Steve Blum happen in America, to make many great things happen in America. It created a popularity. That's the difference.
I'm just saying yours. I'm saying with yours in particular, if the question was how to name a dub that evolved the anime community or expanded or increased it, I think that would have took the cake. But I feel like in particular with this, I feel like that one's a little bit off-centered on the real question. That's all I'm gonna say. Simple as that.
Okay. Before I end this off, I have a question for JC and Corey.
Or I'll let you answer this one.
You guys say that
Storm.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. To both of you, if the script of Ghost Stories was never changed and stayed the exact same, because a lot of the strength with Ghost Stories is definitely its writing, do you think it could have been still pulled, the dub could have still been pulled off by the actors?
You got people like Greg Aries and stuff working on it. They're good voice actors. They could pull off a very good dub if they wanted to put the emotion into the voices. Some of the dubbers, they only did a cheesy voice in the legitimate dub of the show just because, they rewrote it as a kind of cheesy comedy show, right? Like as we were describing. But the dubbers themselves are really talented. You got Greg Aries, you got who's this other chick that I'm looking at? You got Real Monica, you got Patty and Chris, you got Mungo Rob. You got a bunch of good voice actors that I think they could have pulled off a really good dub if they wanted to do a serious version of Ghost Stories rather than the comedic version that it turned out to be during the dub.
I have a quick question. Without looking at their IMDb page, would you have known who any of those people were?
I don't listen to dubs, so I don't know these people. I didn't know. I don't think
that should be taken into consideration because not many people know voice acting. He asked Stephon. He doesn't know voice acting.
I didn't know about Johnny.
I didn't know about
Johnny Young Bosch until I started talking to you guys.
All right.
See, there you go. I feel like that's a forced question. I don't like that. I'm objecting to that.
Okay. I will be very honest here when saying this. In terms of writing, yes, Ghost Stories was definitely improved in terms of its dub. It is an impressive dub that improves upon it. The thing is, I'm looking for best in all aspects. Popularity is somewhat included in it, and so is the acting. I don't know if the acting would have been as strong if the writing was the same. So I'm gonna give the point to Bebop.
Cool.
Yep.
Bang.
It is an impressive dub, but not strong enough to. But it isn't strong enough to beat Bebop.
It'd just be like a 2-on-1 versus Gabe because I feel like that's what we're going with. I feel like it's a handicap match. I don't know what tag team was in the fact. I think this is a handicap match.
All right, so a little intermission here. Connor Star 6 Wars 1 is going to be leaving the role of the judge up to me because he is going to be leaving soon. So for now, I am the judge for this episode. And for the next question, what is the best anime reboot? Go. No, cut that shit out. Wait, who the fuck goes first again? God damn it.
Over here.
Okay, so Corey, you're not Corey, god damn it. So Gabe and Dustin, go.
Okay. Our choice for the best. Wait, what was the question?
Best anime
What's
reboot.
the best anime reboot?
Oh, haha, yes. Okay, our selection for the best anime reboot is Hellsing Ultimate because it built on everything that the original Hellsing was. It completely revamped what wasn't a very good show and made it completely celebrated. It is phenomenal. It is beautiful. It has Crispin Freeman.
All right. Okay. Corey and JC, go.
Basically, we decided to pick Hunter x Hunter 2011. Main factor is just because with Hunter x Hunter 2011 it is a reboot of the original one of 1999, which honestly, for what 1999 tried to showcase, it only went up to about 40 to 50 episodes, and it missed a lot of what the storytelling was gonna showcase. They actually caught up to the manga, and they couldn't explore upon. So what they did was make an original ending for Gon and his company just walking out in the distance. There was really nothing that they really showcased besides that the adventure will continue. Basically, the an end of the read the manga kind of ending. But what they did wrong was they didn't really establish all the side characters that really do get phenomenally introduced later in the half of 2011, because it expands 3 times the amount of episodes, so it has plenty of time to really showcase the true characters of what they really wanted to do. In this 1999 version, it didn't showcase that, but 2011 definitely gave it justice, definitely gave what the fans were waiting for over 10 years, and they got what they deserved. That's what my answer is. Hunter x Hunter 2011.
Interesting.
All right, so Hunter x Hunter and Hellsing Ultimate. All right, so go out, all out, guys.
All right.
All right.
Let me go ahead and start off by saying the best thing about any shonen, Hunter x Hunter, Hellsing Ultimate, the best thing is the competition, which is why I'm going to let Dustin take this one.
All right.
For the sake of competition.
Okay. Hellsing Ultimate. I haven't seen Hunter x Hunter, but Hellsing Ultimate took what was already established from Hellsing, the original Hellsing, and completely remastered it from animation, from art style. I mean, Madhouse did a fucking good job with revamping Hellsing Ultimate, because the original Hellsing was shit. I'm going to be honest with you. What made it shit was not only just the story aspect, but some of the characters as well. Like, some of the characters, like, for example, Sarah. She didn't get a lot of development in the original Hellsing. And with Hellsing Ultimate, she actually does. And yeah, she may seem like a, big pair of tits on the screen, which she kind of obviously is, but she's actually a developed character in Hellsing Ultimate, and that's what I like about Hellsing Ultimate. It actually gives the characters their personalities, and they're more developed. And with the original Hellsing, it's kind of like a double-edged sword with this, because I have to compare the original to Hellsing Ultimate, but with Hellsing Ultimate, it did the same thing that Hunter x Hunter did. It followed the manga, and I think that Hellsing Ultimate was better in terms of what it went out to do, and that's pretty much my argument.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is where I'm supposed to go?
Hey, why not? I could dive in here and there, but go
All
for
right,
it.
well then, Hunter x Hunter 2011. I'm going to tell you exactly what Hunter x Hunter 2011. Not only did Madhouse, like your studio, did a glorious job of redoing the art and animation from the previous work, because it didn't look all that great in the previous one, but this one, the art animation vastly improved. Also, the soundtrack for this one has some of the most memorable soundtracks I've ever seen, but let's not talk about the cherry on top. Let's talk about the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about the cake, the characters, and the arcs. Now, the original Hunter x Hunter did not have is renowned as the best arc in the whole entire Hunter x Hunter franchise, which is the Chimera Ant arc. The Chimera Ant arc featured a 60-episode long arc of basically it was just so awesome. But let me just get down to the nitty-gritty of what this arc did. This arc introduced one of the most renowned villains in Hunter x Hunter, Meruem, who is actually really humanized, and that's not something you see a lot in a lot of anime nowadays, like humanized type of villains with motivations and such like that. And also what this arc did was just completely shattered Gon's black and white view on society. That is something that the original did not have. The original did not have Gon's breaking down of his views, his naiveness, his black and white views on society and everything that is around him. That's what the original did not have. They didn't have that type of development. In this, though, they had him break down his black and white views, and they just completely just developed his character, changed it, and that is something the original did not have. Also, the side characters are a ton more development, and a ton better characterization than the previous work, and that is why I believe that Hunter x Hunter 2011 just improved vastly upon what the original one set out to do. It improved via, more arcs, and it improved with one of the most renowned arcs in all of shonen. Like, anyone who talks about Hunter x Hunter, or anyone who's a little very shonen, will always mention the Chimera arc as being one of the best shonen arcs of all time. And Hunter x Hunter has gained, I'm going to pull out the popularity card, it's gained so much popularity that is now in the top 5 of Mal.
All I want to say as well, just to add on really quickly to what Corey said, I mean, I agree on all of his points. It's so very true. There's so many missed opportunities that really the original just doesn't take care of it, that you don't not get to see in the 2011 version. Honestly, with a lot of things with character interactions, they felt very mixed, and with being too fast and too slow. They really didn't know how to keep a pace in the original, which really sucked. And really, into contrast with Hellsing Ultimate, I mean, with Hellsing, it tried to establish what it did, but honestly, Hunter x Hunter did it a lot worse. When they tried to establish what your characters or motivations were, there really was a lack of it, because there wasn't enough to build off. You kind of just thought of Gon as just a simple kid who's just trying to find his father. There's nothing really that memorable about it, but you don't get those breakdown moments with these great characters, these great villains. Hisoka barely gets mentioned at all. He gets mentioned when they get to certain elements, but it doesn't get established enough where you feel like he's a menacing character. There's characters that miss their opportunities. There's story points that really don't get to be explored, and honestly, it felt rushed and too out of proportionate, that really kind of hurt the show as a whole. And that's why me, who watched the 1999 version and hadn't finished the 2011 version, I felt a little bit slapped in the face. I thought the original mate gave it justice, but honestly, it didn't give it no justice at all. I'm so glad I decided to jump on 2011, and I wish I continued to do so, but I am too fucking busy.
Also, can I add that Hellsing Ultimate, in my opinion, Hellsing Ultimate may be good, but to me, it doesn't explore upon its themes as much as Hunter x Hunter. And plus, Hellsing Ultimate, I feel as if it's more of a balls to the wall action, while Hunter x Hunter is much more in that as a series where you get to grow on the characters.
Okay, I gotta intersect here. Dustin, you were talking about how largely you were talking about how the animation is really improved upon. I want to hear why it's good outside of just the animation. What else makes it really good?
What makes Hellsing Ultimate
characters,
really
themes,
good?
etc.
Okay, what makes Hellsing Ultimate really good is how, well, I don't know if this would count, but Sarah's main character, and all the other side characters as well, but mainly with her. Like, in Hellsing, the story with her, there wasn't really much. And I think with what Hellsing Ultimate brought to the table in terms of Sarah's character, it made her important. It made female characters important. And, it's not just the fact that she's just this character that has big breasts and she can blow shit up with a big-ass cannon. And by the way, bitches dig cannons. But other than that...
Bitches love cannons.
But it just fleshes out better than what the original did with her character. And not only that, Hellsing Ultimate also has a good soundtrack. And a lot of the complaints that JC made with Hunter x Hunter, same goes for Hellsing, the original. There wasn't that... there wasn't that much to build off of the original either. And plus, I would say the quality of the original was not that good either in terms of, comparing it to the Ultimate. The original, there was episodes where Sarah's hair would change colors and her outfit would change colors. It was very inconsistent, and I would say that's the worst thing about the show in terms of its animation, but...
That shit was garbage, son.
It was garbage. But I wouldn't know about Hunter x Hunter because I haven't seen it. I don't really care that much about it. And,
Shit sucks.
I don't know.
Be your hype man.
But, Gabe, I think Gabe should say something too. Because he loves Hellsing Ultimate too.
Bitches love cannons. I mean, they're... Scientifically speaking, cannons and bitches. I mean, we know this. We know that science tells us bitches love cannons.
Mocking us.
I know he is.
10 out of 10 argument.
And I mean, Technicolor hair, right? Sarah's, it was amazing. It was Technicolored, but it was garbage. And Then they made that not happen, which is better, right? Not as bad. So then after that, right? Better animation, right? Better production, just better everywhere. Voice acting got better, animation got better, followed the manga closely.
Yeah, and they got the original cast. The original cast of the old which that took years. Oh my god, that took fucking years to get the cast back. No, shut up.
Hyrule,
they got the
Hyrule, you know what?
They got
Hyrule,
the
you want
fucking
you want
cast
something
back.
Hyrule,
A war.
Hyrule.
It's a war.
Hyrule, the original Hunter x Hunter ended on a filler arc, okay?
That was
filler
shit.
Arc.
So did Hellsing.
Greed Island, okay? That was a filler arc. That was just a trading arc. It was a filler arc, all right?
So did Hellsing.
So was
Okay.
Hellsing.
And it wasn't even real filler because it wasn't in the manga.
And guess what? Hunter x Hunter.
Hellsing, same thing. Hellsing, same
But-
thing.
but
Hellsing,
Hunter
same
x Hunter
thing.
allows-
Hellsing,
Hunter-
same thing.
Hunter x
Hellsing,
Hunter allows
same
you to go
thing.
on to...
Hellsing, same thing. Hellsing,
Alright,
same thing.
So wait. So
Hellsing, same thing.
Was there an episode where literally you have the main character be in the same location for 3 to 4 episodes, I believe, and doing nothing but training? Literally nothing but training. No, just slight interactions about we should do this.
Let me tell you why we didn't have that, because there were only 12 episodes. Our main character barely showed up, and our secondary main character, who was Alucard for some reason, he decided to show up most episodes, not all of them, of the 12.
Would you
most
guys
episodes.
I have a question. Would you guys stop talking about the original so much and support your own reboot piece of damn work?
Yeah, well, he's talking about his original.
You guys are doing
we're talking
the
about
same
the original,
fucking shit.
and I basically just talked about the whole
JC
entire
was
damn
asking
thing.
questions
Yeah.
about the original, so I was responding about the original.
Oh, guess what?
You guys are doing the same shit.
Oh no, we talked about the original and we talked about why the newer version is better. You
We
guys
split
just
up the
seem to be
tag
talking
team, my
about
friend.
That's
This is a
what I
split up. This is a split up tag team battle right here.
the question is where's the question?
Best anime reboot.
The question is best anime reboot.
We're talking about the reboot. We're not talking about.
That's what I'm talking
we're
about,
how
too.
it improved off of the older one. We're not talking about generally the older one. We're talking about the newer one and how it improves off the older one. You were just talking about how the anime is inconsistent. In the older one. Talk about your new piece of damn work already.
That's what I did. I did talk about it.
Oh, we talked about it better.
I talked
Okay.
about it better. My
Sure.
dick's bigger.
We talked about it better in terms of everything that Hunter x Hunter presented. I feel as if by seeing Hunter x Hunter 2011 and by seeing what you might call Hellsing Ultimate, Hunter x Hunter 2011 did a better job than anything Hellsing Ultimate ever did.
Okay, yeah. Corey has a point. He did bring up why Hunter x Hunter 2011 is really good. Not only just comparing it to the original, but why it's a good standalone.
And I did
thing.
the same thing with Hellsing Ultimate. I compared it to the original.
You guys did to an extent, but there was very much more comparison to the original. So right now I want to hear, why is Hellsing Ultimate a good standalone show, not only as a reboot, but as a standalone show?
Okay. Hellsing Ultimate, it did everything right with what a reboot stands for. It did everything right. It gave us more for what we wanted. Like, that's why I feel that it's one of the best reboots. Because not only, did it take years for this, reboot to get dubbed and everything. That should say something right there. It took years for Madhouse to get, Funimation to get all the dub cast back. I mean, that should tell you something about this series, like Ultimate. I mean, in terms of a reboot, it's one of the best because it took what the original lacked and built it. It built it better. And, I just think that, if you're going to talk about reboots, which, there's no denying it. I mean, it's up there with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. But, in terms of what it did, Hellsing Ultimate, I could definitely say what it did was it established everything. Fuck. Gabe.
I don't want to be a part of this one because it's not fair.
Well,
Defend your work, Gabe.
Then I
What is
guess.
this?
I don't want to. Look, You guys are young. You have fragile egos, right?
Oh.
I don't want to completely destroy them. That's all there is. Let's have some competition, damn it.
We are.
There's no competition
here,
here,
but
oh, God damn it.
I haven't seen
Dave,
Hunter x
I'm
Hunter.
saying right now that
I
they've
can't rebuttal.
got it pretty good right now. If you can destroy them, go right on ahead.
What's the point? Then we would win.
Yeah,
I don't even think Gabe could
let's-
destroy us with this one, anyways.
I don't know.
Okay, once he decides, I'll go ahead and make a couple
Go
points
ahead,
if you
Gabe.
want.
Go ahead.
All right, yeah, I think Corey and JC get it.
Unless Gabe. Wait. I said Gabe
No, no.
should talk.
No,
The thing I was waiting to see was that I wanted to see you talk about more than just Saris is not just big boobs. I wanted you to see or talk about the themes and such like that and other characters.
Right.
You did talk a little bit about female characters in general, but for the most part, it was Saris, animation, music. That's it. Whereas Corey talked about the themes of Hunter x Hunter as well as what it did to specific characters beyond just one or two. So they get the point.
Basically, what you wanted to hear was something along the lines of Hellsing Ultimate, like, directly followed the manga as opposed to the original Hellsing, which was 12 episodes long and wasted about half of it on complete filler that wasn't even in the manga, whereas Hellsing Ultimate used about 43 minutes per episode to follow each single part of the manga. Basically, each book was segmented into an episode, which is one of the most ingenious things I've ever seen, and the fluid, beautiful animation, let's go ahead and put that aside. Let's put aside the beautiful music. Let's instead talk about the marriage between Crispin Freeman and Alucard, the best marriage of voice actor and character in the history of fucking ever. Alexander was amazing. Even when Saris came back, she was better because she had time to grow as a voice actor. It was the perfect time to reboot. It was the perfect thing to reboot. It had a huge following for fucking no reason except for the fact that Alucard was awesome, and then it made it even better. It made it even more popular. It brought the popularity back. It was in everybody's like top 3 anime at the time because it was so good, because it was so fluid, because the action was amazing, because Alexander is one of the greatest villains of all time, with Alucard being one of the best anti-heroes of all time, and Saris going through such a transformation from beginning to end. Everybody going from such a transformation from beginning to end. Integra's storyline was completely fucked in the original, and they brought that back. They brought back everything. They made it better in every single fucking definable way, and there is nothing that anybody can say about any anime that would make that diminished whatsoever, because it is the best reboot, period.
See, this is what I was fucking waiting. This is what I was fucking waiting. This one right here.
I beg to differ.
I was about to like throw points right back at him right here, but
we've already got.
Oh, you can, but the round's over.
I know the round's over, but I mean,
it's
this is like
over.
a little side,
Yeah, you
like,
guys
this
win.
round's over.
This round's over, but
I know it's silver.
go
over.
back to your rocking chair. So I'll keep saying that.
Oh.
Like I'll
Go back to the loser circle.
No, literally, you'll be holding a cane in your hand. I'll walk up to you and kick it, and you will fall.
No, I'll beat you with that cane. Have you
How
not
can you
seen
get-
Batman Beyond?
Gabe, you break a hip before you can do that.
So, yes, his hip. I will break his hip.
Okay, guys, I hate to break up the fight, but we probably need to get on to the next question.
Yeah, let's just get on with the next question.
All right. Question 4. What is the worst romance anime and why?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm the one starting out this.
No, because we're going, so I'll let you.
Oh yeah, shit. We chose the second season of the anime Chunibyu Demokoi ga Shitai. I almost said it like JC said it, but
I know. That's why I gave it to you.
it's basically the second season. Instead of progressing the romance that was already established within the first season, they digressed it. Nothing happens in this whole entire season. You see the couple that you always wanted to see together as a couple, and they just barely do anything, and there's nothing that happens. And in the very end, they pulled the most dramatic cliche ever, because everyone, all the fan base of the show, wanted to see the two people kiss, because obviously that's what you want to see out of a romance. You want to see the two characters kiss. You want to see them have that resolution in the end. And what happens is, when they're about to kiss, phone rings, Kat was pregnant, had babies, that's it, the end. Done.
Okay, well. All right, Gabe, Dustin, go.
We picked School Days, and there is no doubt in my mind why School Days is one of the worst romance animes ever. It's one of the worst harem. Yeah, it's not just romance, dude. It defined a genre. The worst thing about a genre. School Days is based on a visual novel, and the visual novel is good because I played the visual novel. But this, oh my god, he does everything wrong. I mean, okay, this guy, he emotionally breaks a character. Almost to the point that she completely fucking loses her mind. And on top of that, not only has he slept with just one girl, no, he sleeps with 8 girls. and that's not even the worst thing about
plus fun day.
Yeah, that's not even the worst thing about School Days. The worst thing about School Days is the fact that it's 12 episodes long. It's a complete waste of time, and it just... I want to kill the fucking main character. I really do. I fucking hate the main character, and there's nothing redeemable about it. All the characters suck. And the only one that I feel sorry for is what is her name again? Katanaha. She's the only person I feel sorry for. Well, at the beginning. Because she's this emotional wreck. And that's what makes School Days one of the worst romance animes ever. No argument. You can't argue against that.
Then.
Sorry. I'm sorry. No.
Okay.
No, you can't.
Okay, JC, you want to give?
I want to give this with this. I mean, at least with School Days, you kind of have something to back it up. I mean, if we're talking about romance, he did technically advance the story because I mean, he's technically sleeping with multiple different women. I mean, technically, if we're talking cliché-ness, I mean, that's something a little different. Let's just be honest here. If we're pushing boundaries here. Plus, at the end, you get a hell of a good payout. You said you hate the main character. My God, you get to see him die. You know how fucking great that must have felt. He fucking died. That's the fucking best ending of a romance I've ever seen. A guy who I hated. With ours, nothing progresses. It downplays the romance. At least there's an advancement. There's an advancement right there. At least an advancement with your 12. So our 12 episodes, nothing exactly goes forward. When they establish at the end of the first season they're a couple, this second season they're a couple. They're supposed to advance their relationship, maybe do some things, maybe explore upon it, but nothing happens. It pretty much is just filler. And then again, what Corey mentioned, our ending is god awful. It's so cliche and it's so slapped in the face that honestly, hey, guess what? You want more of this? Guess what? Either watch the movies or go wait for season 3. It sucks. It definitely is stagnated and it hurts people who love the series, in which honestly, me and Corey definitely were invested in the first season. Second season, nothing happens. It goes downhill super fast. Established a relationship.
Not to mention,
ruins it.
Okay, can I say something?
Go for it.
Oh yeah,
it's all out.
Not to mention, School Days doesn't ruin the series, whereas To Debut second season ruins a whole entire series of a romance. And at the bare minimum, a romance should have progression because, after all, it is a romance. And School Days does have progression, whereas our anime has like at the bare minimum, like a really slow progression, but it's nothing. Like it goes forward and it takes 2 steps back, forward 2 steps back.
Okay.
Until the very end when you get blue balls. And at School Days, you don't get blue balls. It's legitimate romance, but it might be sick, dark, and twisted. I'm not gonna lie, but it's still romance.
No. You said that that basically a romance needs to progress the story, and then you said that yours didn't progress the story, but ours did. And then you went on to say that yours does progress it just very slowly. It goes 2 steps forward, and then it goes 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Okay, well, regardless, you did say that it progresses it. It's
Slightly,
still progression.
But yours progresses.
Yeah,
Your progression.
it's still
slightly.
progression.
But yours progresses. No. There's a progression in
yours
him
does
sleeping
too.
with girls. That's a progression.
Our storyline progresses, but the romance doesn't because there is no romance. It's just a guy fucking everything that he sees. He's like, is that a hole? Man, I wish I could
then wait,
stick my fleshy meat wand in it. Oh, man, stick my fleshy meat wand in it.
How can you consider your anime a romance anime if it doesn't have any romance?
So wait, this doesn't count then.
Because yes, it does.
Then why
because
you
here's
say?
the thing: it's
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Go.
It is categorized as a romance because it's hiding under the guise of a romance because it comes from a visual novel which had endings that were romantic, those were the endings that they wanted you to get. They wanted you to get those romantic endings, but that's not the ending or the storyline they followed. It's hidden under the guise of a romance. It's labeled as a romance. It is a romance, but it's not a romance. It's hidden under the guise. It is labeled as, but it is not one. That is the problem. The storyline makes it so that it is not when it very well could have been, very well should have been, and is labeled as such. That's why it's such a bad show because it is lying to you. It makes you think when you look at the box art, it makes you think even when you look at the first episode, oh, this could be really interesting. I'm into romance, and then it pulls the rug out from under you. It tries to become some sort of weird psychological thriller crap, which doesn't work at all. You don't care about the characters. You don't care about the romance. You don't want anybody to get together at the end. You just want the main character to die, and they give you that, which yay for them, but there's no romance to it. At least with yours, you get blue balls, and the reason you get blue balls, the reason that anybody gets blue balls is because they were hard and they didn't get a release. That's the thing. So you were at least hard for these characters, right? You had a hard on for these characters. You wanted them to succeed. We didn't get that in School Days.
Our balls were cut off.
We got premature ejaculation. That's what we got.
You know what I'm gonna say about this though? No, but here's the thing. We actually, when you
premature ejaculation.
I see what it is, Gabe. I see how it is. I see how it is. Anyways, look at this. With ours, with the second season, you had to watch the first season to know about the second season. So yeah, you're right. We were hard on. We were fucking ready to go. We're about to go in someone. But the problem is, we get blue balls. But that's the thing. I think in a sense of like how Marvin is seeing this in the outside. That makes ours even worse of an anime than School Days. And that you have nothing to build up besides the visual novels. But some people probably never played the visual novels. They just watched the anime and like, oh, it's bad. But with ours, you actually had the experience with characters, their motivations, the stories, and how the romance progressed. And for the first season, then the second season, you get none of that. It just breaks down and goes downhill. And guess what? Basically, we got a horrible dissatisfaction that makes it even worse for the community who love this series. And guess what? That makes it more of a worse romance anime. You have nothing to establish besides the game, and not many people watch the game. We have to watch the first season to go to the second season. That's a problem, and that's why ours is the worst romance anime.
I'll give you, you're 100% right. All we had was the visual novel and the box art and the way that they promoted it, which was as a romance. So people went in not knowing anything about it. At least with yours, they went in knowing about it. They went in knowing about this romance stuff. With ours, they went in knowing nothing about it, knowing nothing about School Days, presuming it was going to be a romance, and they got the rug pulled out from under them, and it really pissed a lot of people off. With yours, there was some progression, and okay, there was a fucking cat call at the end of it or whatever, and they didn't end up kissing. That's life. That happens. People get blue balls. That is a thing that happens. So that's a fine ending because that is something that could very well happen. Timing is always an issue in love. That's realistic. No, it's not realistic. One dude sleeping with 8 girls, fucking getting one of them pregnant, like 3 of them fucking go insane. One of them kills herself. Another one cuts off a girl's head, or cuts off his head, stabs some girl, then fucking goes on a boat with the head. No, that's not realistic. There's nothing realistic about that. There's nothing relatable about that. There's nothing relatable to any of the characters. They're all just different forms of some sort of psychopath that are mentally fractured, that you can't relate to, that you can't care about. You don't care who gets with who because none of it matters. You just want them all dead, and one of them survives at the end. So really, that's kind of blue balls. And
not only that, not only that.
On the topic of realism, a lot of romances that are out there aren't exactly the most realistic. Look at Sword Art Online. Look at Zero no Sakaima. They both take place in a fantasy setting.
Yeah,
not
but
only
the
that,
emotion behind it's realistic. That's the point. The romance of it is realistic. I'm not talking about the setting. A lot of things, the Notebook isn't realistic. When the shit would that ever happen? No, but the romance in it is fucking celebrated for whatever reason. Twilight's not realistic, but for some reason people eat that shit up. That it doesn't have to be a realistic setting. It has to be a realistic emotion. It has to be something that you can gravitate to, something that you can hold on to, something that will make you care, something that will give you blue balls if it doesn't go the way you want it to. That is what your series did. That's why you're so upset about it, because you wanted them to kiss and you wanted them to be together, and they couldn't because the timing wasn't right, and that is realistic.
You know what? Think about this though. Think about young children nowadays. I don't know, kids, teenagers, whatever it may be, young adults, people that are younger than you, thousands of years younger than you, Gabe. People who actually,
thousands
yeah,
years?
that's what I'm gonna say.
Thousands
Look at this.
years?
Hey. With this, I mean, there's teenagers nowadays who actually. Look at the media nowadays. People love fucking sex. At least that, you have something to build off and be like, hey, that guy just banged that chick. Oh my god, he banged that other chick. He banged like 5 more chicks. He got that girl pregnant. Fuck, you never know. Fucking maybe Charlie Sheen could have been young and he could have had some psycho bitch that cut off his head. You don't fucking know. You know what? I think that realistic aspect shouldn't be taken into consideration in this, because honestly, there's a build-up that we had that suffered for us. You just watched it. There are teenagers that probably will just watch nothing but porn, anything that is porn related. That's still a form of media in the romance section and some sort of fucking romance out there. And there's at least a progression of your character getting some romance. He's making love. He's fucking the girls. That's technically romance.
But he does it wrong.
No,
when he
I
does
got
the
this.
romance, he does it wrong. Okay, when he does the romance, he does everything fucking wrong. He follows a book, which he wasn't really supposed to do that, because he did it all wrong. Like, What does he do? He leaves the girl out of playing video games with him. What does he do? He makes her feel awkward in front of a Kamazaki member. A mafia member.
You mean Yakuza?
Yeah, Yakuza.
Okay.
Whatever.
But the thing is,
He does
you're
fucking
saying-
everything wrong.
the thing is, JC, you're saying that you don't think that realism should be taken into account in this because of this reason, this reason, this reason. The actual reason that you don't want realism taken into this is because it destroys your argument. The fact of the matter is, with romance, you want realism. You want to be attached to it. So that's what it is. And there is no realism in School Days. There is nothing. And you're like, oh, well, sex is a form of romance. People
No,
use
it's
the word
not.
people use the word romance to mask sex in that used to, at least in like Blockbuster aisles and shit like that, because they didn't want to say sex in front of children. It's not a synonym. And you're like, oh, they're making love. They're not making love. He's fucking. There is a difference.
I added that on the side note, so what? Fine, keep going.
He's smashing.
Keep
He's
going.
getting in them guts. He doesn't love these people. He is spreading his seed. That is all that he is doing. He's getting his nut off. He is not trying to romance these girls because he doesn't care about these girls.
At least your
That's
romance,
the whole
at
point.
least
There
your
is no
romance
romance.
isn't contrived full of fucking cliches like ours. No, it isn't actually.
When we're this is a standpoint of this, just revolving around this again. I'm still gonna throw in our same argument with this. On the side note, what we mentioned earlier, there's a build off that you had to go forth to get in this, and the satisfaction of a fan base that was so high for the second season and gets crapped on, that in itself hurts that community, and hurts that series of what the fan base tried to build off of. And guess what? People got fucked over because of that. And guess what? That really makes it a terrible romance for that aspect of that fan base. And as a whole, it's critically bad to people who've seen the first season who critically look at it. It ruins the romance aspects. It's one of the worst things it has in that series. Sure, there's character interaction, blah, blah, blah. The romance aspect goes downhill. We already got established of a couple relationships, so we're already at that high point. Let's just keep it going. Fuck it, have a marriage. Push it forth even more. But they don't push it forth. They make it down to the point where there's nothing more to build off. It goes downhill.
Now, are you talking about your show or School Days?
I'm talking about my show.
It's the same thing. You're saying that it let down a whole entire fan base. There was a fan base for the visual novel. There was a fan base for romance. There was a fan base for all these things. And the way that they portrayed it, the way that they put it off in all the commercials and on the box art, and the way that they put it in like the little synopsis, it was going to be a romance. You thought with the visual novel, if you got the good ending, at least it's going to be a romance. Nope. Huge letdown and way worse, because there was no romance. There was nothing for anybody to attach to. If you enjoyed romance, you must have hated this, because there was none. At least with that, you're like, oh man, you know what? That's kind of a melancholy feeling. It's kind of a letdown. That sucks that the two characters didn't get together, but that's life. With this, you're like, wow, what the fuck? What the fuck just happened?
So
What the fuck did I just watch?
So it may have the label as romance, but your show literally has no romance. How can you argue it as being a romance?
Because it is a romance. It has the label of romance, therefore it's a
Tokyo
romance.
Ghoul has
That's
the
the
label
point.
of a seinen. Does that make it a seinen? No? It's
Probably.
more so shonen
I mean, if
than
it has the
anything.
label of it, the thing is, and you're like, oh, you know, people were let down and people think it's critically bad. Really? You're gonna bring critically bad into this? You're gonna bring critically bad against School Days? Are you fucking up right now?
At least it was a deconstruction. At least to itself, it was a deconstruction.
You could argue.
Fuck
Think
no.
about that.
Fuck. JC, no, it is not a deconstruction of anything.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It doesn't deconstruct. It doesn't deconstruct shit. It really doesn't.
It might actually literally deconstruct shit.
I'm not
be
even going
honest.
to get into that conversation.
But it's not a deconstruction.
I
don't
don't
care.
No matter
That's,
how
that's a
shit I think that
stupid
show
argument.
is, I will
it's a
not get into this
deconstruction.
discussion.
Blah blah blah. No, it's fucking
It
not.
is.
It is
It
not a
does. It's
totally not.
deconstruction.
It does.
Deconstruction.
It's executed shittily. I know, but it still is.
No,
Wait,
it's
wait,
not.
hey, regardless of deconstruction, when an average viewer wants to watch either one of our shows, guess what? They have to invest more time into ours because they have to go through the established characters and then go into that and get ruined because of the romance. With yours, people don't have to watch. People don't have to, people don't have to play the visual novel. They can watch it as a standalone. There's more investment and more of a risk toward ours on that risk of losing what they wanted as romance. It hurts them because they had to invest more time than yours you had to invest in.
So your argument is that the second season ruined the first season, correct?
The second... What the hell? Did I just hear a fucking motorcycle? Repeat
Yeah.
that one more time, because I heard a
your
motorcycle.
argument is that the second season ruined the
The
first
second season was
right?
bad on its own, but it was not only bad on its own, it actually ruined the first season as well. It ruined the
What I'm
build-up.
saying is,
Now
what
here,
people-
wait.
what people had to
Here's
establish,
the thing.
what people
What
had
you're
to
saying
watch.
is that basically that you have to waste more time on this because you have to get through the first season. At least by saying that the second season ruins the first season, that means that the first season had something to it, that it was
But
good.
we're arguing
That there
only
was
the
half
second
of this
season.
that was good. So you have to get through the first season
What
of something
I'm
that's
saying
good.
is,
oh
wait,
no!
when
I'm
you
so
go-
sorry
when
that
you have to
get
go
half
through
of a
every
good
single
thing
part.
as opposed to ours, which
But
is
the thing
shit
is,
from
we're
the
not
top and
arguing
shit
about the
to
first
bottom.
season. Our argument is strictly the second season.
What I'm
I
saying,
understand that, but he's bringing into the fact that you have to watch more.
Because
of
you have
it.
to take an
And that
investment
is
to
bringing
get
in
to the
fact that you
second
have to
season,
watch
which
the
is a
first
standalone
season.
Well,
itself.
hang on.
This.
Hang on. You were saying that you're not arguing for the first
I'm not
season,
arguing
right?
for the first season. What I'm saying is,
Okay,
you have to
well,
put-
you're bringing up points as to why the second season is bad because it hurts the first season or things like
trying
that.
to say is for a
But
person who's trying to establish the time and effort to watch the second season and go for the romance, they have to invest more time than theirs has to. We mentioned this before, and we were building off of our arguments back and forth, so we still stand point on what we were arguing against. We mentioned this about 5 minutes ago when we were talking back and forth. But all right, well, we have a visual novel that got ruined. They mentioned the same thing. They were building off of it, so I think it still stands because I was not interjected with that certain point.
okay.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
And what I'm saying is that by saying that, oh, you have to waste more time because you have to get through the first season, you are bringing the first season into this, which means that I can use it by saying that the first season at least is good. It's something interesting. It's something that you could be involved with. It's something that people cared about. It might have been ruined by the second season, but School Days was just ruination throughout the entire thing. Yeah, you might have had to go through more to get to the ruination in yours, but School Days, from top to bottom, was terrible. There was no first half that we could connect with and be happy about. There was no shining light. There was no hope. There was dismal bullshit.
Okay. I think that's about it.
Okay.
So.
Oh God, I'm out of breath.
Gabe said, Gabe did his thing. JC, you said some things that, kind of brought back a little bit, but Gabe kept bringing up things to counter argue that, and because of that, Gabe and
we
Dustin
lost.
get
All
this
right.
point.
Well,
Wait. I have an idea. How many
one.
points do you guys have?
1, you have 3.
And we have 3.
It's 1 to 3. Yeah.
All right. So maybe for the last round, we make it worth 2 points.
Oh, God.
fuck me.
I need to drink all this bottle of water real quickly.
Up to you guys.
All right. You know, we'll play.
Oh God.
Oh my God! Will motorcycles stop going by my house?
You know, we'll play your sick and twisted sadistic game.
We're already in this. We're in this to the end, I guess. Screw it. Oh my God.
My internet is bad, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh well.
That's okay.
Well, don't worry.
Is it-
You've already. You missed the good news because you guys won that round. God. Oh. Okay.
All right, so for the next round, we're going to make things interesting by making points double. So whoever wins this gets 2 points, and that means that Corey and JC have a chance to go to a lightning round and win. Okay, so next question. Worst tsundere in anime. JC, Corey, go.
I'm gonna go with Rin from Fate Stay Night. Could be Fate Stay Night, Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, whatever. It's the Fate Stay Night universe. She basically established herself as sort of a main character, even though she's not the main character, but she has such a involvement in the whole entire thing that she has no purpose whatsoever. There's nothing that really showcases her to be even useful at all in the entire anime. Hers is Tsundere. She literally just bitches and moans about how she can't do this, bitches at Archer, bitches at Shiro. She does nothing but pretty much define her so-called stereotype, but she does it in a poor way that doesn't so far advance the plot or do nothing for it. It literally ruins what her as a character, being a tsundere character, what people like, such as people from Toradora and all these other shows that are more valuable, like Taiga. There's nothing worth value of her at all as a character, especially a tsundere character. She's just so useless whatsoever for her archetype.
All right, and Gabe / Dustin. Go.
All right. Our character is very similar. Big part in the storyline. No relevance to it whatsoever. Nothing but a cliche tsundere. Except this character and the anime that this character is in is objectively detrimental to all of anime. It is one of the worst, not only tsunderes, but characters, and not only characters, but animes, period. And that is mine from Akame ga Kill.
Oh.
She is
Is she the pink hair girl?
Yep.
Yeah.
She sure
Okay,
is.
I just wanted to clarify because I can't.
She is basically a tsundere trapped in the body of a little girl. That's pretty much exactly what she is, even though that's not a part of her storyline. You know why? Because she doesn't have a storyline. Her whole entire storyline is, I'm a mixed breed human being. People don't like me. They don't even develop it. They don't go further than that. They don't show how people don't like her. They don't really show why people don't like her. They just go, she happens to be a mixed breed human being, and she's wearing lowly clothing, so you can go ahead and be attracted to little girls now. Oh, by the way, she's a tsundere, and she is one of the main love interests for the main character with no build-up whatsoever to it. There's no reason for it. There's no reason. They show no reason whatsoever that she should be in love or even somewhat like Tatsumi, but for some reason she does. It is mind-boggling. And in a series full of weak, shitty characters, she is the weakest and shittiest. Every other one has some point. Some small, tiny point to the show. Rin has some small, tiny point to Fate. She has no point whatsoever. If you snatched her out, nothing would change.
I'm gonna interject here since we're gonna rebuttal and all that shit.
Can I just say something?
No, go for it, Clark. Go for it.
They totally played off of my known hatred for that show. They totally, because they know I can't rebuttal against a comment because I fucking hate
low
it.
blows.
But you know what? I will.
Blows.
But I will after JC makes a point.
Well, all I was gonna say is she's a side bitch. She's a side bitch of a tsundere, which basically implies that she's on the sidelines for the show. It still goes along without. There's scenes without her in it. With Ren, she's literally in every scene. Every scene you see with her, she's pretty much in there, and she's just there to interfere with the whole motives with other characters like Archer, like Shiro. Shiro may be a bitch and he's doing his own thing, but you know what? She pretty much stops it and be like, you can't do this. So there's nothing to really go forth with it. She basically, we can't have other characters explore upon their own moral ideas. Basically, she just stops and puts it on a hold, and she basically does her typical tsundere, typical stereotypical things. She acts like a bitch, and then soon forth she creates a good love interest in a very, very cliche way. Oh, I'm so sorry that you lost Saber. You know what? I'm here for you. And guess what? We can do our own little thing. And guess what? I'm sure everyone's heard and seen the gifts and the visual novel. Of course, she plays the role, and then in some form of the Fate State universe, she does fucking have sex with him. It's a typical tsundere kind of action. Falls in love with him, does that, and just becomes that main girl who pretty much takes away a lot of the other sideline of the roles for other characters, and that's a big detrimental thing that I think she shows more of a damage as a tsundere character. She ruins the show for that.
And might I add that mine actually did have an effect on the story. She actually did kill at least 2 people, as I recall. Didn't she kill who the fuck? The lightning dude. Did she kill the lightning dude?
Yeah, she did actually. She did.
Killed
The guy
dude,
whose name you don't remember, who's a side character? Yeah, she killed no name number 1, yes.
And didn't she also destroy Justice Girl?
Who?
Justice Girl.
Who's that?
The girl with the dog.
Who's that? What's her name?
She the dog.
Exactly, she didn't matter!
She did matter. You just don't remember her name because you hate the show so much. Don't let personal bias get into this game.
No, she doesn't matter. Here's the thing. Mine, she might have killed a couple of people, but Tatsumi could have killed those people. Strings, Boobs, I don't remember their names either. Lubbock and whatever the hell, I'm gonna call her Creole. They could have killed people, and they had more interesting storylines. Lubbock was like a rich guy who fucking fell in love with the bionic commando arm girl who was like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and follow her into the army and stuff like that. He at least had a storyline. He had a reason to fall in love with his character. And Boobs, she definitely had a storyline. She had something. There was a reason that she hated the prostitution guy. She was a reason that she went to the slums. There was a reason that people knew her in the slums, but they never got to her storyline because instead mine got 2 episodes for some reason damn near to herself, and another episode where she was just kind of getting ice cream with Tatsumi. There is no reason for it either. There's no build up for it. At least with Akame, you can see why she liked Tatsumi, because he provided a sense of normalcy to a life that was completely unnormal. She liked when he smiled. So did Esdeath. They were very much different sides of the same coin with that. They both liked the way he smiled. They both enjoyed the normalcy. They both enjoyed many different things about him, and you can see why they fell in love with him. Mine, there was no reason. There was no reason for her to treat him like crap because no one ever treated her like crap, and there was no reason. He never did anything to her, and there was no reason for her to fall in love with him whatsoever. And also, okay, so maybe she killed a couple of people who didn't matter to the story. Okay, sure, she killed a couple of people who didn't matter to the story, but at the end of it, she could have had a death scene that would have actually mattered. She could have died by herself defending things things and like fucking just like tying up that plot scene with her best friend, who again, they also, with her best friend, the person who died, Scissors Girl, they didn't expand on that either. They didn't show why they were best friends. They didn't show why she cared so much. Not at all. She just cared about her because she fucking cared about her, because the plot called for it. So she comes back and she tries to avenge her, and she does, and she would have died right there if it wasn't for Tatsumi, who had to swoop in and save her, and then she died in his arms. Why? What was the whole point? And she's like, oh, you know what? I have to tell you something, and we'll do it after the battle. Who cared when she died? Who cared when she said that? Why did it make sense that she said that? It didn't make sense, unless I'm sure if you maybe read the manga, but who the fuck has read the manga? A couple of people, I'm sure, but none of us have, so it makes no sense. If you only watch the anime, it makes no sense whatsoever why she would love Tatsumi, why she would end up dying in his arms, why he had to save her when he couldn't really save anybody else. If she's supposed to be strong, if she's supposed to be the person killing these people, why did he have to come save her? There is no purpose whatsoever to this character. She had no role in the storyline. There's no reason for her to join the Night Raid. There's no reason for her to fall in love with Tatsumi. There was no reason for her to do anything whatsoever, and she was basically a loli without actually being a loli. It was so ridiculous. They couldn't even fit her into the right stereotype. They couldn't make her a proper tsundere, and they couldn't make her a loli, so they tried to smash them both together, and some people loved it, but even those people didn't care when she fucking died. The people who matter when they died were Boobs, Lubbock, and fucking Esdeath. Those are the people who everybody talks about, oh, their death scene, and Bowles, who got no screen time, has more of an impact when he dies than she does, and she got more screen time than damn near anybody in Night Raid outside of Akame and Tatsumi. It makes no sense whatsoever. She is a nonsensical character that was thrown in there for the loli crowd and the tsundere crowd, and that is it.
Okay. JC, Corey, you want to say some stuff?
Jesus, goddamn, my God, I'm already dying from lightheadedness, but I guess I have to jump in the boat with this. Corey, you're gonna back me up on some of these points. Look at the end of Fate's Day Unlimited Blade Works. There's a great example. Whole episode with them figuring out having a large date. Nothing progresses in that episode, by the way. With her, she pretty much is there to like, hey, guess what? We're gonna go on a date and we're gonna advance our relationship because you know what? I like you. There's more involvement to that, and really, there's no. And by the way, Fate's Day Unlimited Blade Works, or the whole Fate franchise, is a battle royale. And she is the sole factor on what brought the slice of life element that ruined the show. Honestly, Face the Night would have been so much better without her. Because if you had a heroic character who cared about their friends, he would have been in that battlefield doing his own shit back and forth with his fucking saber. Oh, she's terrible too, but fuck it. They would have done stuff with that. With Rin, she doesn't do anything with it. Honestly, Archer does her own thing. She doesn't moderate Archer. She just does her own thing that doesn't help at all. She pretty much stops the point of progression for Shiro, the only view you get to see, and she stops him from going, hey, you're going to get yourself killed. You're not going out there. And guess what? He sits at the home because she said stay home. Guess what? You're not going anywhere. And guess what? Our viewpoint doesn't go to anyone else because of that. That ruins it. She pretty much stops the entire purpose of Fate's Day Night, where it's a battle royale with high school kids. Yes, that's very typical, but guess what? That's what it was supposed to be. And she brings a slice of life element. She brings a factor that should have never even been there. There's no point for it. She brings in with that. She brings plenty of moments where obviously Saber wants to be heroic, and guess what? Of course, Shiro wants to be heroic. They want to go attack. The fucking lolly girl. Guess what? Nope. Rin says, back off. You're not doing nothing. And guess what? We have to stay with his perspective. That is a detrimental thing. That honestly, your character did kill off people. They kill off a main villain. That villain, by the way, had a big motive that was very important. Corey, go ahead. Go ahead.
Wait, before Corey goes on, let me go ahead and say first off that you're saying that, oh, let's go on a date. That's progression in the romance. It might not be progression in the overall story, but it's progression in the romance, which is more than mine ever got. And you're also saying, oh, she ruined Fate's Day Night. No, Shiro ruined Fate's Day Night. Fate's Day Night ruined Fate's Day Night. She might have been bad for it. Sure, why not? But she didn't ruin it. You're putting way too much emphasis on her. You're basically exaggerating her to a point that she does not deserve to be exaggerated to, and you know it.
Have you seen
You're the
Face Day
one who
Unlimited Blade
said
Works?
that Shiro ruined it. You're the one who said that several times, and that Fate's Day Night was bad regardless. And that
because
is
she
not
stops
all
the
on
anime
her.
as a whole, how it's trying to progress with its story. She stops that as her as a character
But
being a
that is not
tsundere
all on
element.
her.
She's bringing.
Shiro stops it too. A lot of characters in Fate's Day Night stop it. So what? Shiro stops it too by not doing anything. He doesn't fight anybody. He doesn't want to fight because he's a pacifist. She does the same thing he does. They're basically there's different sides of the same coin. Like it's not all on her. It's not like she single-handedly ruined Fate's Day Night. No, Shiro did that. Fate's Day Night did that. The writing did that. The lack of development did that. A whole bunch of things did that. You can't put that all on her back. It's a fallacy.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, JC.
I know you didn't see Fates in that. I know you didn't say Fates in that. I know you didn't. And I'm so
JC,
goddamn having a migraine. Corey, I want you to throw in everything you got. Or Dustin, I don't care.
Okay.
And another thing,
Corey!
mine is a lolly. Mine is basically a lolly.
Listen. For the most part,
I think Corey should get a point stock.
for the most part, during serious situations, mine is able to go and be serious during serious battles, during serious anything. She's able to be serious and put away her tsundere tendencies in order to fight enemies. Here in Face Day Night, I'll give you a perfect example from the last episode. Lancer appears on top of a building. What does Ren do? She decides to go full tsundere on Shiro instead of focusing on Lancer, who could have possibly killed him. But luckily, he didn't kill them. Luckily, he was there just to be, just to be the safe guy, just say like, "Oh, you want to be in alliance with me?" But the problem was they didn't know that he didn't pose any threat. They thought he posed a threat, and they started bantering all because of Ren's tsundere-ness. Ren's tsundere-ness always causes Shiro and all the characters to become in danger, and I think that is a really terrible thing for a tsundere to do, to cause danger to all the characters, detrimental to everyone in the show.
Hey, you know what? That brings progression. That brings some kind of conflict. And you know what? It's kind of funny. Let's be honest. If we're watching a tsundere do a tsundere thing, we're enjoying it because it brings humor. Mine, yeah, she might get into a couple fights. You know how she wins those fights? By shooting a big beam of energy, which is a MacGuffin. It is a Deus Ex Machina to get her out of situations. It gets stronger the more danger she's in, but then it doesn't sometimes because fucking plot device. She becomes a plot device when the plot calls for her. Aside from that, she's nothing. She is a tsundere dressed as a loli. That is all she is. She is the over-sexualization of a little girl and a bad example of a tsundere and a bad example of a character in a show full of bad examples of characters. At least Rin can bring some humor. Mine never does that. I never laughed at one thing that mine said whatsoever. I laughed at a couple of things that happened in Kami Ga Kill. Never anything that mine said, and the point of a tsundere most of the time is to bring some kind of humor, whether it be slapstick or not. Emmy is a perfect example. She brought humor into Devil's Part-Timer. Mine couldn't even do that, whereas what you're saying, Rin at least did that, and she at least caused conflict. Mine never caused conflict whatsoever. She only reacted to the things other people did so she could be a plot device and have a fucking Deus Ex Machina MacGuffin fucking cannon to kill a couple of people who really, let's be honest, Akame definitely could have killed on her own. No doubt about that. Tatsumi probably definitely could have killed on his own, and Boobs could have killed on her own, and Strings could have killed on his own. These people could have been handled by other people, but she was there solely to have a tsundere/loli character. That is it. Rin was there for humanization. Rin might not be the best fucking form of humanization, but she is humanizing. She is somebody who brings some kind of banter. She is somebody who brings some sort of conflict. Mine brought nothing to the table whatsoever. This table was clean.
I can't, I'm agreeing with
so
Gabe
much
here.
information to take in. Jeez.
I didn't really pay too much to Akame Got Killed, but I couldn't stand mine. I really couldn't. Like, she's just bad in so many ways. Like, a tsundere character, to me, like a tsundere character, they're supposed to be entertaining to watch. Like, they're bad. They're supposed to be bad. But they're also supposed to be entertaining. I didn't get that from mine. I just couldn't.
Not even once.
No.
Not even once.
I mean, with Rin, I got some entertainment from her. There was a lot of funny moments with Rin. But, compare that to mine's moments. You can't.
Okay. This is a lot. I feel like Corey and JC haven't gotten to say
They're
very
silent.
much. So if you guys have anything, throw it out there.
Listen, man, this guy's like a walking dictionary. I told you, like, holy shit. I
know you didn't see face.
Is that you conceding over there, Corey?
I'm not giving up.
Okay, come on.
I have many blood echoes left.
My internet's killing
All right, let's hear it then.
You guys play dirty. You guys chose a Kami Got Killed. You guys play dirty. JC,
hey, you guys could have.
In particular, with Ren, I would say.
Why'd you all have to pick a Kami? You all knew I hate that show with a burning passion. I can't.
Corey.
I can't.
Corey.
What?
Corey.
JC.
I can't think of any other scenes. I can't. My head's throbbing. I have no idea. She got something.
Marvin just.
So basically,
Marvin, come
Corey just wrecked you guys.
Gabe just wrecked us.
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say
nice.
you said Corey. I was like, what the?
Oh
What?
wait, I said Corey.
I was like,
Corey
what
wrecked
the
you all.
fuck?
No.
I was
no,
like, oh
no.
my god,
Corey.
what?
No, Corey. No. Gabe wrecked you all.
This man
Sorry
should not
about
be allowed in an anime royale ever. Like, no.
Yeah, stick to being a judge. You do that well.
Fuck
This
do
you
this
do
well?
too well.
Too well.
Oh my god. Just close it off, Marvin.
Guess what? Me and Corey don't want to say it. We concede.
No, I didn't say it. I
You
didn't
just
don't
say it.
said
concede?
it. You just said it.
no.
You can
Because
say
because
Well,
okay,
you guys don't have to concede. I basically gave them the
I
point.
didn't
well,
concede, though.
double the points.
They
remember?
win.
I didn't
Well, I
concede.
already
Double the
We
points.
gave him the point,
yeah.
but I didn't concede. JC conceded.
I conceded then.
Okay, you went
That's
down
only
with
that's half the team.
I w-
That's not. The
I
full
went
team,
down with the
sorry.
Titanic.
Okay. You went down with a really pathetic fight, but you went down with the fight nonetheless.
But this was, oh my god, this was awesome.
I'm gonna be out for blood, but that's it.
Okay.
I'm gonna be out for like some migraine pills.
All right. Well, with that, it looks like Gabe and Dustin both win this anime royale.
Even though I didn't really say much there at the end. But yay!
So, well, thank you guys for watching another episode of Anime Royale with OtaKrew, and with me, I have Corey. Where can they find you
Mr.
at?
Reckless Penguin on a lonely iceberg in Antarctica.
All right, and then I also have on his team JcGreen.
I
you at?
think I just they can find me here on OtaKrew in the description. There's also Twitter at JcGreenYT, and I should probably make this official. I think I'm going back to retirement. Oh God, Jesus.
Okay, while he goes back to retirement, I also have Dustin.
You can.
Where can they find
you
you
can
at?
find me here on the OtaKrew channel because I'm a new member of the OtaKrew. And you can find me on YouTube. I'm TheHyruleBard. That's my main channel. And Hyrule Anime. That's my anime channel. And you can find me on Twitter at TheHyruleBard.
And lastly, we have the man himself, the guy who wrecked them all. Gabe, where can they find you at?
You can find me at youtube.com/ShinTellGenesis or at Twitter at ShinTellGenesis or right here on the OtaKrew channel, probably judging from now on.
Keep it that way.
Okay, and I am Marvin, the special guest host, judgy thing. We also had Star 6 Wars 1 here, but he is no longer with us. I'm making him sound like he's dead, but you can find him at Star 6 Wars 1 on YouTube, as well as Ninja Mushi Reviews for me. All right, and thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.